Hey guys, and welcome to Nerdcast, where we nerd out about various topics. Today, we are going to talk about privacy.
So as we are discussing about privacy today, we every person draws a line over what is private and what is not. So I
Mhm.
guess each of us even have a different aspect of uh, lines of privacy. So what about you, friend? Where do you draw the line for privacy?
Okay, all it started from the Google keynote from Pixel 1 where they showed where Google told that they have all the photos on Google Photos and they trained their machine learning algorithm by those photos. Like they use our photos to, you know, train their model. And then I came to know that how privacy works, why it is so important, and why I see. First, I don't used to care about my privacy. Like मुझे ये नहीं फर्क पड़ता था कि if my data goes for some company or something like that कि कोई यूज़ कर रहा है, it doesn't matter to me. But after a certain point of time I realized the importance of privacy कि नहीं यार, क्योंकि if I'm searching something on Google and after just 5 minutes I'm seeing those ads, so my data is not safe at all in these companies' hands. So that was the point of realization for me.
So the
And what
thing
about
is,
you, Guru?
you asked about how where we draw the line, and what I would say is, if I am consensually giving some data to the public, if I'm telling something about, like, if I'm posting something on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere where I'm consensually, like, I'm giving the consent that yeah, this data is for the public. If I'm saying something on this podcast or YouTube, that is considered as public information about me. But if I'm searching something on, like, if I'm watching something on YouTube, or if I'm whatever I'm doing alone with my time, that is considered to be my own private data, and I'm not giving consent for anybody to be listening onto it or to check it out or to know that data.
Okay, so basically for me, it's I don't think whatever I put on my phone is private these days, and basically I don't really have any private data on my phone except the passwords of the bank accounts that I never store anywhere, which is why I prefer it on a VPN or or on a PC, and that's useful. But rest of the things like my photos, if I'm getting the privacy, if I'm not getting the privacy and I'm getting the ease of searching, let's say I want a photo of a mountain that I went into the at on 2018 some Jan something, so I just search for a mountain in my photos app and it just shows me wherever which photos contain mountains. So that is useful for me and it helps a lot. Uh, at the cost of privacy, I don't think those photos are more of a private thing rather than just a mode of enjoyment for me. And that's it. The rest of the things like my email and stuff, I don't have it on my Gmail. I use Zoho overall, so that is one point of privacy. But except that, I don't think I use anything that is private for me.
So when it comes to me, I used to use Google Photos and other Google services earlier, but once I realized the potential of the misuse of that data, that if it can land into wrong hand, so that's when I realized, hey, I need to move out from this. Like, even if it is easier to use, and, like, you can search for any photograph or something. So that's when I decided that, hey, in when we are using such free services, these are not exactly free. This is like data is converted into the cash for this services.
Yes.
So instead of selling my data, why not just let, if I can afford, why not go for a paid service that actually is private and give the same ease of use. So that's when I moved to iCloud Photos for my, like, all my photo library and everything. So yeah, it is definitely expensive, but it has the same features, like I can search for the photographs and everything, and it has the added benefit of complete privacy. Like that data is definitely not being sold anywhere because they are taking the money for storing the data.
In general, for you, you may buy a iCloud or what you call it, a storage to store photos, but not everyone can. So I don't usually upload my photos to drive or something like that. I just store it in my hard drive or computer.
Well,
So
that has the
they,
potential. Like you don't get the machine learning advantages of it. Na? Like you can just search for photographs
yeah,
anytime.
And
that's completely fine because I'm just storing them for the sake of enjoyment, to
Yeah.
watch me, to get sometimes nostalgia.
Okay.
But it's not the point where like I want to search specific photos because I know I can find it. Like it will consume like 5 minutes of my life, but yeah, I can find it.
Okay. Add to
it's the
that,
ease.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we have moved from a local data service to cloud data service. We are still in the process of moving,
Yeah,
and I guess that's the use of these cloud services. But again, the privacy obviously matters here, and maybe Google Drive is the option that I'm using for like 10 years or something.
yeah. Everyone is using because
Yeah,
the first 15 GBs are free, right?
yeah,
So,
First
as
15
for me,
GB
I have moved
storage is
on to OneDrive because actually, if you look at it from like even economic perspective, like I'm getting for around 3,000 rupees a year, I get the whole Microsoft services included. So that include 1 terabyte of storage for free. Like not for free, like it's included in that package. So that is pretty like value for money if I would say because that has the entire backup of all my devices in one single like backup. So I can access everything whatever I want at any time. So and that is private also. So moving away from free services has that cash that it is expensive, but at least your data is secure and private. Even
yeah,
for
but
password, people are using services like one password or something, but I have not moved on to those services. I'm I'm just using my like iCloud password services that has like all my passwords on Face ID or fingerprint sensors.
see, when
So
it comes to privacy, uh, for you it might be a good point that you don't want to carry some hard drives just to
yeah.
take care of your photos and
yeah,
backups and something like that. For me, I can carry like two hard drives, and I have already said this that I got two hard drives, so I keep my backup in my one hard drive, photos in my other hard drive, and
okay.
obviously uh, they don't consume that much amount of space. It's fine for me just to not just move on to like pay 3,000 rupees per year just for a cloud
It's
service.
not just for cloud service though. Like I'm using it because I'm getting Microsoft Office also included in that,
Yeah.
and also the whole
Uh,
integration and the like I can switch between different devices. So that's the benefit that I get out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess even that's the point that I have. So I'm shifting towards some laptops which are lightweight and
Yeah,
basically ultrabooks which don't have
obviously 8 volt
higher
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, basically they don't have SSDs big enough to store data,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess portability for me is a main issue, and
Main
that's
issue.
why I
Yeah.
use cloud services. And that's why privacy, I mean, they do have privacy. It's not like they don't have privacy at all,
Yeah.
obviously, but so I can use cloud services like Google Drive. I have almost my much more not private data, but it's almost half my data is on my Google Drive, which I can access from anywhere. I can work from anywhere,
Yeah.
and that's easy for it.
Yeah. Like I understand Pranit that right now, like actually as a gamer, you are the devices that you have access to have enough storage, and like when you're traveling with a 3 kilogram laptop, you can obviously have a 200-gram hard drive with you.
No,
So that isn't an issue.
I
But most of like us in the workspaces, we travel with like an iPad or something. And in
see,
that case, you cannot just have a hard drive just to be ready to connect or something.
first thing, uh, like my laptop is not 3 kilogram. It's 1.89 kgs. My first
Okay.
laptop was 2.30 kgs.
Yeah.
So I'm also looking forward for portability, but carrying an extra hard drive is not that space consuming again. So and when you're traveling, if we live in India, so there might not be a great connection in the
Yeah,
bus,
true.
train, plane, or they may not have services like Wi-Fi or what
Mm-hmm.
do you
We're
call it?
still on the verge of changing it towards, we are verge of going towards the internet world, but
Mm-hmm.
we still lack infrastructure for now.
Yeah.
So that's why it's an issue.
So carrying an extra hard drive just for 200, 300 grams is not that heavy for me, you know?
Yeah, true. So what has happened these days is we have been getting ads
Yeah.
for many stuff which we don't even put on Google or let's say anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It might just happen that you're talking about something with your friends and it just appears in your Facebook ad account or somewhere, some website that you visit.
Yeah.
So has that been happening to you guys too?
Yeah, I think that is happening to everyone because when I was preparing for GRE, I used to search a lot of stuff on Google. So Instagram, Facebook, Google started giving me ads about various
Mm-hmm.
sites that provide GRE materials. So that this happens. And the most surprising part about it is that first, if you search anything, you just get the ad of whatever you have searched in just 5 minutes
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
less time.
Mhm. So as per me, like I used to use Google as my primary search engine until a few years back. But once I noted that, hey, you know what, if I'm searching anything on Google, the data is going somewhere and I'm getting the ads and everything. So that's when I decided to move away from Google completely. So except for YouTube, well, the podcast is on YouTube. So except for that, I'm not using any other services of Google for now. Even Google Maps is something that I don't have an app on my phone also. So I moved away from Google. So that's why even for search, I'm using DuckDuckGo most of the time, or Bing. If I'm on my PC, I'm using Bing, and if I'm on my laptop, on my phone or iPad, I'm using DuckDuckGo instead. That has been my default search engine instead. So that has cut
Uh,
down on a lot of these ad services actually.
Eventually you are going to get ads in some way or the other, some product or the other. But getting, so let's say this can even be turned into an advantage. Let's say I'm searching for some laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So I search it on Google. I get an ad for, let's say I don't know a specific seller on Flipkart that is giving me 50% discount on it. But I don't search on Flipkart usually. I search on Amazon. So that gives me an edge where I can get 50% discount over there. Obviously, say it's targeted audience and targeted ad marketing, but it also helps you in a certain way. It's not like it's 100% bad. Obviously the data, it's basically a prototype of the process of the data that they are taking. So let's say they are just showing you an example that we can take this data and we can work on it.
Yeah.
The privacy where I draw line is when people would take my personal emails
Mm-hmm.
and give me ads on those personal emails, which has not yet happened, and I guess that won't be happening anytime soon. I'm hoping for it,
Yeah.
but that's the place where I draw my line on privacy, and it happens a lot. Facebook is doing this, and it has been confirmed by a lot of people, even my
Yeah.
friends. So I was sitting with my friends in a cafe and
Yeah.
discussing about some snack, and I didn't really know the name of the snack. But in a couple of days, I started getting ads of the same, and that was surprising for me. But then I realized that it's okay. I mean, if I didn't remember the name of the same snack, it is giving me an idea that this is the snack that you were searching for or you were talking about.
But you were talking
Uh,
about, so that's the thing, that if you're just talking about something, so just think someday, like, not okay, that in that time you were not talking about anything like, confidential or anything.
Yeah,
But what if you're talking about something confidential and you have, like, for your company or something, you have some trade secrets, and you're just talking about that, and the next day you will see that something related to that is on the web, like targeted
yeah.
towards
That
you.
is
So that would mean
that
that
is
that confidential
yeah.
data is being, analyzed by
Yes,
some
yes,
of
yes.
the Google server. So
Yeah,
that
and
this exactly,
they are analyzing. I guess they are. So Google Home and Amazon Echo.
yeah.
which has claimed that they don't record any audios,
No,
even
they have
if you are
accepted.
not saying that.
They have accepted
No,
it.
in the court, even Mark Zuckerberg didn't accept that they are recording 24/7. They
Hmm.
are just recording after the key phrase that they are saying, which
But
is
when
Hey
you
Google or
actually
OK
download
Google.
the data that they have recorded, so there
Yeah,
were like
yeah.
many articles that I read about it, and those downloaded data showed that most of the things were just like random phrases that we were saying to each other.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
exactly.
yes.
I read like two articles on those, like Amazon Echo, because I used to own one Google Home and I still have this Google Home. I'm not using it currently, like, so I just switched off the mic because it has a button.
Yeah, it has a
So
universal button.
instead of providing meaningless or some informational data to any big organization, you might just take care of few things.
Yeah, I guess that's why they have. I mean, people have not been known for getting their Google devices or Amazon Echo devices in their bedrooms. So
Yeah,
that might be private for people, but in hall it's not that private. So that's why it's installed over there.
yeah.
That's
If you
what
have
I
a
have seen.
hall, you have smart lights, you have a smart
Yeah,
TV, so that's completely fine for that.
Thank you for tuning in. We are going to continue this in part two.